This has Vikings fans fired up as Justin Jefferson's recent podium appearance was filled with gems of quotes speaking on his role as a leader, as well as the emerging connection with quarterback JJ McCarthy, already making this season feel different than it did last year. We're going to be breaking down all that in this episode of Vikings Digest, but first, if you want to stay up to date on all things Vikings and join the nearly 1,400 subscribers we currently have on the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can stay up to date on all things Vikings. And without further ado, let's hop right into it, which is that JJettas fires up fans. So in previous years, Justin Jefferson hasn't been present at OTAs at TCO Performance Center. These practices are technically voluntary, and the face of the Vikings franchise has often had other things going on and some uncertainty around his contract until he signed a big extension almost exactly 1 year ago. The NFL's receiving yardage leader over the last 5 seasons doesn't exactly need the reps, but this year is different. Jefferson has been out there with the rest of his teammates, putting in work and building towards what the Vikings hope will be a special 2025 season. And when speaking on being at the OTAs, Jefferson was saying it's definitely important to gain a little bit of sight of what the new year is going to look like, to build that connection with my teammates and especially with my quarterback. It's definitely great to be out here early. When they asked me to be here, it was a no-brainer. Now, as that previous snippet kind of alluded to, in the previous years, there was no appearances by him because of the uncertainty of his contract, we'll call it, but we knew that the Vikings were eventually going to get a deal done. It was just a matter of when, and they did get it done. So now in that first year heading into this contract extension, he's saying, all right, you guys want me to be the face of your franchise? Here you go. I'm going to be there at all the events, at everything that you need, every mini camp, all the practices, everything that you need of me to be this face and the superstar of this franchise, I will be able to do. Now, there's another superstar in the NFL that is a quarterback that the Vikings were previously linked to that wasn't initially like that people have a very different opinion of. But with this Vikings team, it is a complete reversal of that, where the face of our franchise, be it Justin Jefferson or by the end of the next season, JJ McCarthy, these guys are ready to make a difference and make an impact and make this Vikings team very special this season. And as far as speaking on his leadership role as well, he says, everybody knows me knows that growing up, I was more of a shy guy, more leading by example than by my voice. I had to learn being vocal, learning that I have some type of influence on this team. So whenever I have some type of encouraging words or have that chance to bring up the team, that makes a difference. And even just being here makes a difference. It just feels great to be around the team earlier than normal and carrying on that leadership role. Now, heading into his 6th season, Justin Jefferson is no stranger to being a leader on this team. He has been one of the biggest superstars in the NFL ever since his emergence in week 3 against the Tennessee Titans a few seasons ago. And now he is ready to just continue to build on that and continue building this legacy in Minnesota as a leader of this team. He wears the C on his jersey, and for good reason, because he is the guy that is going to be leading us through this season and for the next couple of years as the face and one of the superstars of this franchise and of this league. There's not really many kids out there that can say that they don't know who Justin Jefferson is if they watch football. There's very few football fans that don't know who Justin Jefferson is. Even my grandma knows who Justin Jefferson is, and she's a Chiefs fan. So her knowing all those things is pretty awesome to see that Justin Jefferson's reach and his superstar status just continues to grow. And one person he wants to continue to grow with as a superstar and with this chemistry is quarterback JJ McCarthy. When speaking on building this connection with JJ McCarthy, he says, it's been great. Him being here last year, I got to know him a lot last year, but of course, him being my quarterback this year, being able to talk to him more, pick his brain a little more, see what he likes, what he doesn't like, how he throws the ball. A lot of that is a big factor to a quarterback. Just trying to learn every bit that I can, even off the field, just trying to chop it up and make sure we're well connected. Now, you guys saw in that intro video, and you guys probably saw it on social media, when they were at the Minnesota Timberwolves postseason game, just sitting courtside, just like we saw him with Andrew Van Ginkel as well, with JJ McCarthy. So yes, there's a lot of different things here with this team chemistry, and especially around JJ McCarthy. These vets and the new guys too, with Andrew Van Ginkel being a bit of a newer guy, but still an NFL vet, and Harrison Smith as well, with having him on his golf team. There is a lot of vets on this team that are wanting to just make sure that he is welcomed into this perfect team chemistry and make sure that he has the comfortability and the flexibility to be who he is and to be the quarterback that the Vikings want him to be by just naturally doing it. They're not trying to mold anything per se, but they're just trying to form a great chemistry and a great relationship. And when we look at Justin Jefferson, he has been putting up massive numbers over his career. No matter who's throwing him the ball, he produces. However, we've seen how much different it is when he's catching balls from a guy like Nick Mullins or a guy like Josh Dobbs versus a guy like Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, and now he has to learn how to adjust to JJ McCarthy. But we saw the chemistry he had with Kirk Cousins. They did so much work and had such great chemistry to make sure they were on the same page, that if it was going up for a double coverage ball, that Kirk had the confidence to be able to throw it and know that JJ was going to come down with it. Sam Darnold didn't always have that confidence, whether in himself or in Justin Jefferson, to make those type of throws. So now with this offseason, Jefferson and McCarthy, they're trying to make sure that they are on the same page, that it'll be almost like what we've seen with the best wide receiver and quarterback duos, or with some tight end and quarterback duos, with how they are on the same page, just almost telepathically, not even having to say anything, and just getting it down to a T. We've seen it happen with Brady and Gronk, Brady and Edelman. We've seen it happen with Mahomes and Kelsey. We saw it happen with Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison, and so many others. And here's to hoping that we finally, at long last, we have had a long history of some of the best running backs come through our building, the best wide receivers come through our building, as well as the best defensive players as well. But staying on the offensive side, now we are finally in a spot where, since Brett Favre and Randy Moss for one miracle season, we are finally in a spot where we have a dominant quarterback and wide receiver duo, where, yes, we haven't seen JJ play yet, so there's no guarantee of that, but if everything on paper is backed up on the field, whether it's his mental prep, whether it's his demeanor, whether it's his style of play, whether it's his talent, all these things, that if they all come to fruition on the field, we are going to be looking at one of the best wide receiver quarterback duos in the NFL, as well as one of the best trios of quarterback and two wide receivers with Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, and JJ McCarthy. And hopefully we could be seeing the start of an all-time great duo that we haven't seen since the emergence of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce as a duo, pairing up following Gronk and Brady. So now we have a chance to really make a push here and make a big splash this season and surprise a lot of people. And another person who he's really surprised that he's going to see a lot of growth with is JJ McCarthy, where he's speaking on JJ McCarthy's growth. He says he understands the role that he has now. He understands that he is the starting quarterback at this moment. So I feel like he kind of brings that with him to practice, knowing that he has to have that leadership. He's the captain of our team. I feel like his awareness of the game and intelligence has really grown. And for the guy who is one of the biggest superstars in the NFL, undoubtedly the face of this franchise, for him to just acknowledge that, yes, he is the leader of this team. He is our quarterback. He is the captain. That is what you want to see out of your wide receiver one and your superstar, who you just signed to a massive extension, but he's not making it all about him. He's making it about his teammates and making sure that they are in the best possible position that they can be to win. So all of this is exactly what Vikings fans want to hear and see. We look at a lot of different teams around the league right now where there's some dysfunction, some uncertainty, whether it's the Dolphins, whether you go over to the Lions, whether you go over to the Steelers, whether you go over to the Cowboys. There's a bunch of different teams right now where the chemistry isn't fully set or is starting to really develop or having to really start over. We see Devontae Adams with the Rams as well. Though within this, we've seen this here with Justin Jefferson. He's talking about all these things within JJ McCarthy's growth, and all of this leading into a big season where JJ McCarthy is going to have his first season under center. So having all of this praise, not just trying to blow smoke up his butt, but also to make sure, hey, you have a safety net around you where if you make a mistake, we're not going to cast you off like a leper. We're going to embrace it and try and make sure we can correct those things and make sure that you grow as a player. That's what we want to see here, where we've seen that in a lot of other teams, that either the confidence isn't there, the chemistry isn't there, the happiness isn't there with some places, unless if you're talking about the Dolphins. So there's a lot of different factors happening with a lot of different teams, that it's a lot of drama that we don't have to worry about in Minnesota, at least for now, because the Vikings are the Vikings, and at some point there's going to be some stroke of bad luck that hits us at any point, whether it's the preseason, regular season, or whatnot. There's going to be something that happens, but let's hope that it is something very minor and isn't something that just derails our season like we thought it was going to be with the injury of JJ McCarthy last season. But let us know what you guys have to say about all this down in the comments below. What did you guys think about Justin Jefferson's comments about his quarterback, about being a leader and being in these OTAs and finally being involved with all these things? Let us know what you guys have to say down in the comments below. But before we sign off, you guys know that Kirk and I, during the season, we like to wear a lot of different jerseys throughout the season, whether it's Aaron Jones, whether it's Dalvin Cook, whether it's Adam Thielen, or some other ones. But now we have a new jersey to add to the show for next season. I was gifted this by a customer of mine for my other job. And Mike, if you're watching, I know you watch the show sometimes. If you're watching, thank you very much for this absolutely beautiful Jared Allen on-field jersey. It's complete with all the stitching. If you guys remember from that Reebok era, there was a lot of the authentic jerseys where they were stitched on numbers and the letters, but the Vikings logo on the front and on the back was a bit in rubber, as well as the Reebok logo. But for this to be actual just on-field and with the stretchy arms, I couldn't be more thankful. I can't wait to wear this on the show next season, whether it's a big game for the defense or just a certain player in general. And I can't wait to see Jared Allen get inducted into the Hall of Fame this summer in Canton, Ohio. And Mike, thank you again. If you're watching, big shout out to you. And thank you guys as well for watching and supporting this channel and staying subscribed, liking, commenting, and rooting for the Vikings as we hope to bring a Lombardi trophy to the Twin Cities next season or within the next few seasons. But that's going to do it for this episode of Vikings Digest. I've been your host, Griffen. Take care.